Welcome to Tales Lab, where lying wives and sneaky girlfriends finally get exposed. From girls' trips that never happened to coworkers who were a little too friendly, we break down every red flag, messy receipt, and suspicious text with humor, shock, and just a little bit of petty. Expect wild stories, dramatic reactions, and satisfying karma as the truth comes crashing through the door. If you love relationship tea, plot twists, and seeing players get played, this channel is your new home. Every single chaotic, jaw-dropping, binge-worthy episode. Hit subscribe and never miss a fresh dose of exposed cheating. Don't forget to check our previous stories. Let's get into it. The cruelest thing Arielle Duval ever did was drag me into Prince George's County Court and smile like she was proud of herself while she told a room full of strangers I was obsessed, unstable, and dangerous. She came dressed like it was a celebration, brought her friends to sit behind her like a cheering section, and let them giggle every time I looked down at my hands. She wanted me to feel small on purpose, like the court could officially stamp me as pathetic. I sat there quiet, throat tight, while she performed fear she didn't feel. Here's how it happened. My name is Jabari Wynn. I'm a black man raised on the kind of pride that doesn't beg. I don't argue for sport. I don't speak over people. I'm calm, sometimes too calm. I used to confuse that with strength. I work in IT support for a healthcare network in Arlington, Virginia, which means I'm trained to solve problems without drama. I thought that skill would help in love too. Keep things steady, keep things soft. But love doesn't stay soft when the other person learns your silence, won't fight back. I met Arielle at a friend's game night in Hyattsville. She walked in late, laughed like she already belonged, and immediately made the room feel lighter. She was an entrepreneur, custom body care products, clean branding, a nice little following. When she talked, people listened. When she looked at me, it felt personal, like she could see through my quiet and find something worth choosing. Later, she slipped her number into my phone herself and said, "You seem like you keep your word." I like that. In the beginning, we were the kind of couple people secretly envy. We did small, sweet things that felt like our own language. She'd call me Mr. Consistency and kiss my cheek when I showed up on time, every time. We'd take late-night Target trips in Colombia and argue playfully about cereal like it mattered. One night, she tried to freestyle a jingle for a body butter while I beatboxed terribly, and she laughed so hard she snorted, then got embarrassed and hid her face in my hoodie. We built our own little routine. On Fridays, I'd cook, usually salmon or jerk chicken, and she'd supervise like a bossy food critic. She'd taste the sauce, nod dramatically, and say, "Okay, chef, you might keep me." Then she'd steal the best pieces off my plate and blame it on quality control. We'd dance in her kitchen in Hyattsville while the air fryer beeped like it was cheering us on. There were nights I thought, this is it. This is safe. This is home. The first crack didn't look like crack. It looked like a joke. We were at brunch in Washington, D.C., and her friends were teasing couples at other tables. Arielle pointed at a guy holding his girl's purse and said, loud enough for the server to hear, "Jabari would never do that. He's too traditional." Then she leaned in and added, "He's also kind of sensitive, so don't tease him too hard." Everybody laughed like it was harmless. I smiled, but my stomach sank. I wasn't sensitive. I was being turned into a character. I addressed it later, gently, in her car. "I didn't like that," I said. "It felt like you were talking about me instead of to me." Arielle kept her eyes on the road and sighed like I was tiring. "Babe, relax," she said. "You're fine. You always take stuff personal." That was her first real move, making my feelings sound like an overreaction. When I went quiet, she smiled like she'd fix something. "See," she said, "I told you. You're fine." After that, the jokes became a habit. At a kickback in Bowie, someone asked what I did for work. Before I could answer, Arielle cut in. "He's in IT. He's basically a human password reset." People laughed. I laughed too, because I didn't want to be the stiff boyfriend. Then she added, "Don't worry, I'm teaching him how to talk like a grown man." That laugh hit different. It landed on my chest like a weight. She watched my face carefully, like she was checking if the leash still held. The humiliations got more specific. One night in Silver Spring, she told a story about how I overthink everything and acted out a fake version of me asking, "Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad?" Her friends howled. I sat there like furniture. When I tried to interrupt, calm, not loud, she touched my knee under the table like she was calming a pet. "Not now," she whispered, still smiling at everyone. That touch was colder than a slap. It said, "You don't get to defend yourself." It didn't stop in public. In private, she'd switch on that same charm, then turn it sharp when she wanted to win. If I asked where she'd been, she'd say, "Here we go," and roll her eyes. If I asked why she didn't answer her phone, she'd say, "I'm not your child." If I asked for basic respect, she'd hit me with, "You're lucky I'm patient with you." She never apologized. Not once. She treated apology like something weak people needed. Still, there were good moments that made me doubt my own instincts. Like the day we got caught in the rain, leaving the movies in Waldorf, and we ran to the car laughing, soaked. Ariel turned the heat on full blast and screamed, "We're steaming like dumplings." We laughed so hard we couldn't drive for 5 minutes. Later, she laid on my chest and said, softly, "I like you, Jabari. Don't change." I didn't realize she meant, don't change into someone who challenges me. The day she learned I wouldn't explode, she started daring me to. At her cousin's graduation cookout in Upper Marlboro, she raised her cup and said, "I love Jabari because he doesn't get emotional like other men. He knows how to stay in his place." That's what she said. In his place. People laughed, some uncomfortable, some loud. My face stayed calm because pride wouldn't let me show pain. Ariel's eyes glittered, waiting for me to react. When I didn't, she looked satisfied, like she'd proven something. On the drive home, I finally said it clearly. "Don't ever say that about me again." Ariel laughed once, short, sharp. "Are you serious?" she asked. "You want to act tough now?" I told her I didn't want to do anything. I wanted respect. She stared out the window and said, "You're not going to tell me how to speak." Then she hit me with the sentence that changed everything. "You're steady because you're easy to manage." She said it like a compliment, like I should be grateful. After that, she began building a story about me. Quietly, consistently. If I texted twice, she told people I blew her up. If I asked a question, she told people I was accusatory. If I showed up to an event she invited me to, she'd joke that I can't be away from her. It was the same pattern. Take normal behavior, twist it, laugh at it, then watch me swallow it. My silence became evidence against me. The more calm I stayed, the easier it was for her to shape me into whatever she wanted. The breakup came fast, like she'd been waiting for a moment to pull the trigger. We argued, quietly, not screaming, about her disrespect. I said I couldn't keep shrinking for her comfort. Ariel folded her arms and said, "So leave." I stared at her, thinking she didn't mean it. She did. "We're done," she said, bored. "And don't make it weird." That night, I drove back to my apartment in Largo feeling like my chest had been scooped out. I tried to end it clean. I didn't post subliminals. I didn't call her names. I didn't beg. I sent one message. "I wish you well. Please don't twist this into something it wasn't." She didn't respond. 2 days later, I started hearing things. A friend asked if I was okay because Ariel said I was showing up everywhere. Another friend asked if I needed help because Ariel said I was unstable. It felt unreal, like she was rehearsing a tragedy with my name on it. And the papers came. A petition for a protective order in Prince George's County, claiming I harassed her, stalked her, threatened to ruin her business. I read the accusations 3 times, each time feeling dumber. Me? Threatening? I'm the guy who says "my bad" when someone bumps me. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I started scanning every interaction, terrified I'd miss something. That's the poison of being accused. You start questioning your own reality while the liar stays confident. Ariel didn't just file. She performed the filing. She posted vague quotes about surviving narcissists. She showed up at mutual events looking fragile, telling half stories with watery eyes. She let people fill in the blanks with the worst possibilities. And because she was charming, people wanted to believe her. I felt my reputation sliding out of my hands. The humiliation wasn't loud, it was constant. Every time someone looked at me differently, it was another slap I wasn't allowed to respond to. I almost walked into court empty-handed because my instinct was to be honorable. Just tell the truth, right? But the night before the hearing, my older cousin Marcellus came over. He listened quietly, then said, "Truth is not enough when somebody is committed to lying." He helped me pull phone records from my carrier portal. We downloaded message logs. We saved screenshots with full headers. We pulled my Google location timeline. We requested my apartment lobby entry logs. We didn't do it with anger. We did it with precision. The morning of court, I wore a simple navy suit and carried a folder that felt heavier than its paperweight. Ariel walked in smiling like the verdict was already hers. She brought her friends, Kendra, Maurice and Mo Hill, and her cousin Trey Duval, to sit behind her like a jury. They snickered when I sat down. Ariel didn't look at me like a person. She looked at me like an old problem she'd finally solved. When the clerk called our names, Ariel stood smooth and confident, eyes shining. Her attorney spoke first, painting me as a man who couldn't accept rejection. He said I used different numbers to contact her. He said I waited outside her work in Suitland. He said Ariel feared for her safety. Then Ariel took the stand and told her story with practiced softness. She dabbed at imaginary tears. She said I sent threatening messages late at night. She said I followed her. She even said I showed up at places she goes, like I was a shadow attached to her. Every sentence was designed to make me look pathetic and dangerous at the same time. While she spoke, Kendra shook her head dramatically. And Mo whispered, "Wow," like a stage cue. Trey smirked like this was entertainment. My ears rang. My hand stayed steady on the table because pride wouldn't let my body betray me. But inside, I was spiraling. I could feel the old version of me, soft, hopeful, confused, wanting to stand up and plead. That's what Ariel expected. That's what she wanted. A messy reaction she could point to and say, "See? That's him." When it was my turn, I stood slowly and looked at the judge. "Your Honor," I said, voice calm, "I'm not here to argue feelings. I'm here with facts." Ariel's smile twitched. Her attorney tried to interrupt, but the judge held up a hand. I opened my folder and started with the simplest thing, timestamps. I showed the court my full message log, downloaded, not cropped. I show my location timeline. I show my job confirmation letter. I show my apartment entry records. Everything had dates. Everything had times. Then I addressed the biggest lie, the threatening message. Ariel claimed she was terrified because I was outside her place that night. I placed the printed record in front of the judge. The message was time-stamped at 9:12 p.m. My location history showed I was at a grocery store in Columbia at 9:10 p.m. and back in Largo by 9:29 p.m. Not near her. Not even close. And the message itself wasn't a threat. It said, "Please stop telling people I hit you. I never touched you. I just want peace." Ariel's friends stopped whispering. I could feel the air change, like the room had been leaning one way, then corrected itself. Ariel sat straighter, eyes hard. I presented the next receipt, a message from Ariel herself, sent after she filed, from a number she claimed she blocked. It read, "If you admit you were wrong, I'll drop it. I don't want to ruin you, unless you make me." Time stamped. Clear. The judge's eyes lifted to Ariel, slow and heavy. Ariel didn't blink. No remorse. Just irritation that the story was slipping. The final piece was the cleanest and ugliest. A voice note Ariel left me weeks earlier, downloaded with metadata. I asked the judge to listen. Ariel's voice filled the room. Light, casual, cruel. "I need them to see you as the problem, Jabari. If I look like the victim, I win. Don't fight me on this." No tears. No fear. Just strategy. Kendra's face tightened. Mo swallowed hard. Trey stopped smirking. Ariel stared straight ahead like she could outstare the truth. The judge played it twice, then set the phone down. "Ms. Duval," the judge said, "you understand you are under oath." Ariel's answer was quick and cold. "He's twisting it," she said. Not sorry. Not ashamed. Just angry she couldn't control the room. The judge denied the petition. Then, in the most realistic karma possible, he warned her about false statements and misuse of the court system. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. The way he said it, firm, final, was the sound of her plan collapsing in real time. Her performance didn't work on timestamps. Outside the courtroom, The humiliation she tried to give me bounced back onto her, quietly, naturally, with no dramatics. Kendra wouldn't meet Ariel's eyes. Emo stepped away like he didn't know where to stand. Trey muttered, "That's wild." Like the truth was offensive. Ariel walked past me, face tight, and hissed, "You really did all that." No apology, no reflection, just rage that I refused to be her victim. I didn't respond. My comeback wasn't speech. It was my silence. This time not fear, but freedom. My private transformation started that same day. I changed my number. I blocked every account. I tightened my routines. I kept a folder labeled truth with copies of everything and tucked it away like a fire extinguisher. I told my job calmly what happened. I started sleeping again. I got back into the gym, not to prove anything, just to reclaim my body from stress. On weekends, I cooked again and played old music without associating it with her. I started laughing for real, not to survive awkward rooms, but because life was returning. Weeks later, I heard Ariel was still telling people the judge was biased, and I got lucky. That was her last humiliation attempt, trying to poison the ending because she couldn't stand losing control. But the karma had already been served to every cruel treatment. She tried to make me look pathetic in public, and the court saw her lie. She tried to turn my calm into weakness, and it became my shield. She tried to ruin my name, and ended up exposing her own character without me raising my voice once. I didn't win out loud. I won quietly, and I stayed that way. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a powerful story drop.